Somewhere between midlife success and midnight restlessness, you start hearing a quiet voice. It asks questions that achievement can't answer. Ellen heard it the morning after her retirement party. The confetti had settled, the flowers already wilting, and the silence in her kitchen felt like a stranger she'd accidentally invited in. She'd been a teacher for 40 years. Now no one was waiting for her. What now? What matters next? Who am I becoming? That's how quiet begins, with questions that don't fit on a to-do list. Welcome to Quiet Intelligence, a place to pause, reflect, and renew. Here we slow down long enough to notice what life's been trying to teach us all along. Brian found his quiet differently. After 30 years in marketing, he sold his agency, bought a used surfboard, and moved to the coast. He jokes that the ocean became his new conference room. Out there, you can't fake patience. The tide decides when the meeting starts. Maybe you've checked every box you were told would bring peace, career, family, stability, and yet peace still feels half-finished. It's strange, isn't it? You reach the summit, look around, and realize no one told you how to climb back down. Midlife is that in-between place. Old enough to know better, young enough to begin again. Between comfort and curiosity lives possibility. The tricky part is slowing down without feeling like you're falling behind. We've spent decades learning how to go fast, how to optimize, schedule, perform. Now the real skill is learning how to stop, without losing our sense of purpose. Brian calls it surfing without waves. Ellen calls it waking up without a title. Both are learning that identity isn't a job description. It's what remains when the job disappears. Try this tomorrow morning. Before you check your messages, sit with your coffee and let yourself feel that silence. Don't rush to fill it, just notice it. That's your inner life stretching its legs. When the noise fades, the first thing you meet isn't peace but momentum, all the habits that kept you moving. You might still wake at 6, ready to chase an inbox that no longer exists. That isn't failure, it's energy looking for a new home. Stillness isn't comfort, it's confrontation. When you stop moving, the things you've outrun finally catch up. They're not enemies. They're teachers that walk at a slower pace. Most of us confuse comfort with peace. Comfort numbs, peace awakens. Comfort says, you've earned a break. Peace whispers, you've earned awareness. Brian says the first time he paddled out past the break, he felt both kinds. Floating was easy, listening was harder. The ocean talked back. The quiet mind doesn't erase thought. It gives thought room to breathe. That single breath between impulse and response. That's where wisdom lives. And if you practice pausing there, even once a day, the rest of life begins to move differently. Maybe today, between errands or headlines, take that single breath. Don't try to improve it, just feel it. This is how quiet begins, one conscious breath at a time. When the noise finally fades, the first thing you notice isn't calm, it's withdrawal. Ellen still wakes at 6, waiting for the inbox that no longer exists. Freedom feels lighter than she expected, and strangely unfamiliar. Stillness doesn't arrive wrapped in peace. At first, it feels like a missing limb. You'll try to replace motion with smaller motions, cleaning, scrolling, planning. But stillness waits until you stop trying to outsmart it. When you finally sit long enough, something else appears, yourself. Not the resume version, the quieter one underneath. Brian says that's why he surfs alone most mornings. He isn't chasing the perfect wave, he's listening. He says, out there is just me, the board, and the sound of my own mind, which is louder than the ocean most days. Stillness can be funny that way. It shows how dramatic the mind can be when it doesn't have a project. Every small sound becomes a headline. Stay longer, and those noises turn into rhythm. Try this sometime. Sit for 3 minutes and listen for the faintest sound in the room. Not to analyze it, just to notice it. Awareness grows like dawn entering a dark room. The quiet mind doesn't banish thought, it widens the space around it. That single breath between impulse and response, that's where your second life begins. Ellen practices this with her grandchildren. When one spills juice, she takes that breath before speaking. Now she laughs first, wipes up second. It's a gentler kind of control. We were trained for reaction, not reflection. But wisdom has a different tempo, slower, softer, often mistaken for uncertainty. The modern world rewards noise, but nothing meaningful has ever been built without silence. Every invention, every turning point began in a pause. Brian says when the surface is flat, most people leave. He stays. Waiting is part of the ride. Presence is preparation. Sometimes peace hides in small details. Rain on the roof, folding laundry slowly. Those moments don't announce themselves. You meet them halfway. Try this tonight. Wash the dishes with both hands, breathing with the water's rhythm. That's how awareness sneaks back into ordinary life. Stillness teaches humility. You see how little control you need. Not everything needs your improvement. Some things only need your presence. Peace isn't a reward, it's a discipline. Listening longer than feels comfortable. Waiting before answering. Breathing before deciding. Ellen says she's learning to let unease speak first. Usually it just says, slow down. And then something subtle happens. Life begins to speak back. Ideas drift in like morning tide. People notice you're calm. Opportunities feel less like chasing and more like arriving. That's the quiet paradox. When you stop pushing, the world stops pushing back. The real test of quiet begins when the world turns the volume back up. Ellen thought retirement meant peace. Instead, it meant distraction in new disguises. News, errands, opinions. She realized the world doesn't want stillness, it wants attention. Quiet living isn't about escaping noise. It's about learning how not to serve it. You can't control the world's volume, but you can choose your station. Start small. Turn off one notification you'll never miss. Drive once without the radio. Let silence ride shotgun. At first, it might feel lonely. But loneliness and solitude aren't the same. Loneliness is the ache for company. Solitude is the comfort of your own. Brian says the ocean taught him that too. When he first started surfing, he kept talking out there, coaching himself, thinking too much. Now he just listens. He says the sea already has a soundtrack if you are patient enough to hear it. The loudest voices are rarely the wisest. You learn to measure ideas not by their volume, but by their depth. Depth takes time, and time is the new luxury. Maybe that's what this stage of life offers. A new kind of wealth, attention. What you notice becomes your world. Notice beauty, and life expands. Notice noise, and it contracts. Try this. Next time you step outside, name 3 things you can see but never really look at. The color of a door, the pattern of clouds, the sound of wind through leaves. In this season, wisdom replaces ambition. You stop competing and start connecting. You stop performing and start participating. Ellen mentors weekly at the library. No deadlines, just curious faces. Humor becomes a kind of grace. When you drop something and your knees protest, you laugh instead of curse. That laugh is freedom, proof you've stopped fighting time. Quiet people aren't passive, they're precise. We speak less so we can mean more. Saying no kindly is compassion for others and yourself. Try this. Next time you're asked to do something you don't have energy for, take 1 breath before answering. If it feels heavy, say no. If it feels light, say yes. You begin collecting clarity instead of things, moments instead of milestones, peace instead of applause. This isn't withdrawal from life, it's finally showing up for it. Ellen says she no longer measures her days by how much she got done, but by how present she felt while doing it. Brian agrees. Every wave ends, but awareness keeps rolling. Both are discovering contentment without conclusion. The world will always be loud, but you don't have to match its volume. Let it rush. Move like the tide, steady, deliberate, alive. Quiet intelligence isn't a brand, it's a practice. Pausing before you react, listening before you speak, living before you run out of time. Thank you for being here at the beginning of Quiet.